Man, oh man, do I wish I could put this next guy higher. Next up is my personal favorite Pixar villain, and the only other bear in the bunch, Lotso Huggin' Bear. He's a big, cuddly teddy bear who's said to smell like strawberries. He's got a warm sense of southern hospitality and is all around a nice guy.
First thing you gotta know about me, I'm a hugger.
Which makes it all the more terrifying that he's one of Pixar's most ruthless, cruel villains. Lotso is deceptive, manipulative, and cold-hearted. If you're on his side, he'll lie and brainwash you to do his bidding like he did with Big Baby, and if you aren't, he essentially turns Sunnyside Daycare into a concentration camp. He'll place rebels in solitary confinement to use their instruction manuals to turn them into mindless robots, essentially lobotomizing them.
They broke me.
And even when he's got nothing to lose at the end of the movie, he's more than willing to betray the very people who saved his life. There's not a single redeeming quality about this guy, which begs the question of how in the ever-loving hell he's only at number 5 on our list. Well, that's simple. Lotso is the last villain on our list who comes anywhere near sympathetic. The heartbreak of finding out that his owner replaced him after losing him at a picnic was too much for Lotso to bear, which Chuckles states is the exact moment he became Heisenberg. I mean, a ruthless dictator. He's probably more evil than Heisenberg, actually. But since his backstory does bring a tear to my eye every time, I'm willing to give him the absolute minimum of leeway. Just outside of our top 3 is the CEO of Monsters Inc., the movie, and the company, Mr. Waternoose. He's an aging CEO of a huge but struggling company that's been passed down by his family from generation to generation and only wants to keep it alive.
I would do anything to keep it from going under.
This desperation caused him to strip away his morals and team up with Randall to kidnap children for the sake of stealing their screams, using the latter's grudge against Sully to get him to build a machine capable of torturing them with absolute terror to build more energy. In his own words,
I'll kidnap 1,000 children before I let this company die.
What's more, he had no qualms banishing Mike and Sully once they knew too much, even leaving them to presumably freeze to death in a snowy wasteland. All of this goes to show that Waternoose is more than willing to put the safety of anyone, monster or human, as a secondary priority beneath his company. Even Sully, who he seems to both respect as a scarer and care for like a son, is expendable if it means keeping the company running. The one thing keeping Waternoose from falling any lower is that, despite his main concern being keeping the company running, he is ultimately helping combat the energy crisis that Monster Society faces, and unlike Randall, he seems to have at least some disdain for what he's doing. Still, it doesn't change the fact that he's doing it anyway.